Here are some common mistakes with noun clauses. Let's look at each one more closely. The first common mistake is having a missing noun clause marker. In this course, we've learned about these noun clause markers. Question words like these, whether and if, that, and all of the ever words like whatever, wherever, whoever, and so on. Generally, a noun clause will start with one of these markers and will be followed by a subject and a verb. Some of these markers, like who, what, or some of the ever words, like whoever or whomever, may be followed by only a verb because they serve as the subject of the noun clause. Usually, you need a marker in a noun clause. Here's a sentence. This man is happy or not is a mystery. What's missing? A noun clause marker like whether. Whether this man is happy or not is a mystery. We need whether here to show that we're not sure about these two choices, being happy or not. How about this sentence? This man has a good sense of humor is obvious. Okay, this is a noun clause. It's the subject of the sentence, but we have no marker. Which one should we choose? That would be a good choice here. That this man has a good sense of humor is obvious. Or the fact that is actually the most natural choice. The fact that this man has a good sense of humor is obvious. However, there is an exception, and that's that when it is used as the object of a sentence, like this. It is obvious that this man has a good sense of humor. Here, in the object, we can choose to omit or leave out the that, like this. It is obvious this man has a good sense of humor. Omitting this that is very common in speaking, especially. Another very common problem is using the wrong subject-verb order in a noun clause. As we've seen, questions start with verb-subject order, and this confuses many learners when they want to form noun clauses, which have the opposite subject-verb order. This is especially confusing when the noun clause marker is a question word. These question words may incorrectly tell your brain to start with a verb, even if it's a noun clause. Here's our man again. This thing he is wearing is called a disguise. I don't know why is he wearing the disguise. Why may tell your brain, hey, this is a question. Put the verb first. But now, after our lessons, you know that putting the verb before the subject in a noun clause is wrong. Instead, the subject needs to come first. I don't know why he is wearing the disguise. Check. A third mistake is having a missing subject or verb in the noun clause. I think that wants to make someone laugh. What's wrong here? We have a verb in our noun clause, but we're missing a subject. He, for example. I think that he wants to make someone laugh. It's pretty obvious that he not an extremely serious person. In this noun clause, we have a subject, he, but where's the verb? It's missing. Is would be the best choice here. A final common noun clause mistake is having the wrong verb form in the independent clause. For example, what the world needs now are more people like this guy. Here we have a noun clause as the subject of the sentence, and when this happens, the verb needs to be singular. However, this verb is are, That's plural. This is wrong. Instead, replace it with is, a singular verb. This is a really common mistake, even among native English speakers. Okay, you've learned some very common mistakes with noun clauses. Is it okay to make mistakes when you're learning English? Absolutely. But it's best if you can try to avoid these mistakes in the first place. So let's practice. Avoiding common mistakes with noun clauses. Guided practice. Let's do some guided practice with the error correction exercises that you'll see when you practice independently. In the last video, we examined some common mistakes that people make with noun clauses. They were having a missing noun clause marker, having a missing subject or verb in the noun clause, having the wrong subject-verb order, or the wrong verb form in the independent clause. Let's talk about some strategies or tips for finding errors in noun clauses. Here's a sentence with a mistake. How the universe began, a great mystery of life. First, check. Is there a missing noun clause marker? Well, I see a marker here, so this is okay. Just remember, not every noun clause needs a marker. That can be omitted or taken out in a noun clause when it's the object of a verb. Next, is there a missing subject or verb? We need a subject and verb in the noun clause. Here they are. Okay, so this is the noun clause and the subject of the independent clause, or the sentence as a whole. But where's the independent clause's verb? That's what's missing. If the noun clause is the subject of the sentence, then we need a verb immediately after it. Here. Which verb makes more sense here? Is. How the universe began is a great mystery of life. Here's the corrected sentence. Let's try one more. My husband wants to know, why did it happen? Let's start with number 1. Is the marker missing? Well, I see a marker here, so that's okay. That means that this is the noun clause. Next, are we missing a subject or verb? Okay, we have a subject and verb here in the independent clause, and here's another subject-verb group here in the noun clause. But wait, look here. This is the wrong subject-verb order. The person who wrote this sentence is confusing a noun clause with a question. In a noun clause, we use subject-verb order, not verb-subject order. So we need to take out the did and add ed to happen. Here's the corrected sentence. My husband wants to know why it happened. Okay, remember this checklist when you're writing noun clauses. You're ready to practice on your own now. Doing independent practice with error correction will familiarize you with the common mistakes that people make. The more you think deeply and analyze these mistakes, the less likely you are to make them in your real life when you're writing and speaking with noun clauses. You can do it.